Alrighty, hello, hello, Eugenio. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Ye- Yes, yes, you're very, very welcome, and I appreciate your time as well. We've been having some great conversation here before the recording, and I would love for us to continue that.
Of
So,
course,
if you don't mind, Eugenio, tell me a little bit about your professional experience.
of course. I am a motivated and dedicated professional with administrative customer service for over 10 years. Uh, I, I'm very diversive and professional, and my background applies to skills and adaptability. And
Mhm.
also, I work really well under pressure. Um, I, I'm also I'm recognized for strong organization skills, ability to follow and establish procedures and SOPs, accuracy in documentations, and dealing with escalation calls,
Mhm.
etc.
That's awesome, and I appreciate that introduction. And please forgive me that I keep on phrasing,
Yeah, I'm freezing
but
too a little bit.
work with me here. It's probably an issue with on my end, but again, I appreciate that insight. Now, Eugenio, when it comes down to, because you said it best, right? You've worked in you worked in customer service roles for about over 10 years or
Over two
so.
years. Yes.
Um, and you worked in a few key positions. I have your resume pulled up here, and you worked with some great companies such as Pods, Spectrum, as we know, and Boyd Industries. Um, I want to talk a little bit more about what your day to day looked like at your last position with Boyd Industries. Tell me about that role, if you don't mind.
Of course, yeah. Well, on that role, I played a key part of keeping the department rolling every day. As far as we all had a share email
Mhm.
that we had responsible for. We get a lot of emails from 32 sales representatives and POs from customers. So I was in charge of making sure that those are distributed to the right um, team players within our team. I also had to do an open order report every day to see what orders were open, what needed to take, uh, which orders needed to work on that same day. I also had to deal with logistics and processing orders, reviewing orders, making sure that the orders were all processed correctly, that all the DocuSigns were received correctly, all the payments, all the all the bank information was processed correctly before releasing into productions. So my day to day was a lot of POs, a lot of logistics, calling the doctor, letting them know that we're running behind on some of their items. There's going to be a delay. I had to deal with our logistics department as well. I also did training too as well within the department. But it was time managing yourself on a constant basis. Every day was something different. It's not always the same.
Exactly. And I love how you mentioned that. I love how you mentioned that not every day is the same. With a role such as this, there is a lot of that pivoting that you need to do. I know you also mentioned working with, order processing, working with purchase orders, and just really having that customer service aspect in a logistics
Correct.
environment. So that's awesome as well. Um, Now, Eugenio, I want to ask you a little bit about some systems that you have used in the
Of
past.
course.
Tell me a little bit about those.
Yes. Well, one is my main systems that I have
Mhm.
used is CRM. Uh, I also have used Dynamic 365. One of our production system that we used was GP, which is Great Plains, and that's a system that allows the orders to be released into production, and not very many people have access to that system. Um, you have to be really experienced to be using that to release certain products into production, and also CMS. I'm sorry, CMS, which I use also as well. It's a billing system. I also use eAuto, SAP. Also used ERP, Central Business, which is also a different form of GP. It's a newer version of it. I also have a lot of experience in Microsoft Outlook, Excel, because I ran a lot of reports on Excel. So we use a lot of Excel on a daily basis. That's where I normally got all of my open order reports was through Excel to see what orders are delayed. Um, so Microsoft Word. I also did also process SOPs for the companies and KPIs.
Amazing, amazing. So you're very well versed when it comes down to systems. You're adaptable from what I can hear, to adapting to, any other system. So that is great all in all. To wrap up the interview here just a little bit as well, and again, excuse that I keep praising, but as far as starting a new position, how soon are you looking to start?
As soon as possible.
That's incredible. Hopefully, I can help you finding a new position sooner than later. And absolutely. And then, as far as any time off, are you needing any time off the next 30 days or so?
Not in the next 30 days. I do have a cruise
Mhm.
that is already booked for November.
Okay,
And
no worries.
that's a 4 day, it's just a 4 day long weekend type of cruise that it's already booked and I can't cancel that.
Yeah, well, how exciting, and absolutely we'll be able to honor that. Obviously, it's booked in advance, so we will work through you with that time off. But Eugenio, it truly has been a pleasure chatting with you
Thank
and
you.
getting to know, yeah, your experience. I
Thank you so
want
much.
to. You're very welcome. I want to see if you wouldn't mind staying with me in the line really quickly. I am going to go ahead and stop the recording right now.
Of course. Thank you so much for taking the
You,
time.
you're very welcome. Thank you.